ever ponder about the reasons behind our thoughts, feelings, and actions? It's a captivating topic for many people since our cognitive function is closely tied to our daily activities and our identity. Human behavior, brain activity, and mental processes have been extensively researched. Although there are still numerous uncertainties, learning about the basics of behavior and the human mind helps us comprehend ourselves and those around us better. This video presents insightful facts about the psychology of human behavior. It will help in comprehending the reasons behind our thinking, emotions, and actions. Number 1. Sarcasm is an indicator of a healthy mind. Research suggests that sarcasm can actually be a sign of an active and healthy mind. This is because sarcasm often requires quick thinking, high levels of intelligence, and the ability to understand complex nuances in language. Additionally, people who understand sarcasm are often good at decoding other people's thoughts and intentions. A study conducted by psychologists at Nanyang Technological University indicated that people with higher cognitive ability are more adept at detecting subtle sarcastic cues in written text. Furthermore, using sarcasm may also boost creativity, as it encourages people to come up with alternative solutions to problems. Number 2. The most incompetent people are the least likely to know this fact. You might have experienced this before. Perhaps during a family gathering for a holiday meal, someone in the family starts talking about a topic, insisting that they are correct while everyone else is wrong or uninformed. Even though it's clear to everyone in the room that this person doesn't know what they're talking about, they keep talking without realizing their own ignorance. The term for this phenomenon is the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it refers to a bias in one's thinking where they believe themselves to be more intelligent and skilled than they truly are. This is due to a lack of self-awareness and limited cognitive abilities, causing them to inaccurately assess their own capabilities. Number 3. Early adulthood memories leave a big impression. Have you ever noticed that older people often talk about their experiences from their early 20s? Do you wonder why coming-of-age stories are so popular? This is known as the reminiscence bump. We tend to remember and recall experiences from our adolescence and early adulthood because of strong emotions and significant changes that occur during those periods of our lives. Memorable experiences like graduation, marriage, and the birth of a child are more easily remembered because they are linked to our self-identity and contribute to our attitudes, beliefs, and life goals, according to research on the reminiscence bump. Number 4. Hostile people are more likely to own hostile dogs. Studies suggest that people who own breeds that are stereotypically associated with violence may have a personality that includes anger, aggression, and hostility. It's possible that people choose dogs that reflect their own traits, just as they choose friends and partners who share similar interests and characteristics. However, there may be other factors that contribute to people's aggression and their preference for certain breeds. People who experience social isolation, have fewer visitors, or reside in high-crime areas may face chronic stress, which can lead to increased aggression. Therefore, they may choose a Rottweiler or Pit Bull as a guard dog. Number 5. Rejection can result in actual physical pain. Do you know why some people feel an ache in their stomach after being turned down? It's because our brains are programmed to react that way. Research has shown that when we feel rejected, the same areas of our brains that process physical pain are triggered. This is why even minor rejections can feel very painful, almost like actual physical harm. Number 6. You're less likely to succeed if you loudly announce your goals. When people publicly announce their goals, they may often receive criticism or negative feedback from others, which can become discouraging or demotivating. This lack of support can create a sense of self-doubt and diminish the likelihood that the goal will be accomplished. Additionally, when people declare their ambition too soon, it may lead to a false sense of accomplishment and thus fail to motivate them to carry out the necessary actions needed to achieve their ultimate objective. Moreover, when people speak openly about their aspirations, they may increase their anxiety levels. In times of stress, we are more likely to take on tasks that require less effort while avoiding those which are more challenging. Thus, even if our intentions remain strong and true, our desire to reach our goals is diminished by our own fear of failure. In order to combat this difficult dynamic, it is important for people to ensure that they have sufficient emotional support in place before announcing any ambitious goals. Having a reliable group of friends or family members who can lift up your spirits during times of difficulty is critical for long-term success. Number 7. Speaking in a second language can influence your thinking. Contrary to what one might assume, using a foreign language can actually lead to more systematic decision-making and fewer biases. This is because speaking a foreign language requires suppressing our native language and intuitions in order to think rationally. Studies on brain imaging reveal that the areas of the brain responsible for rational thinking are also utilized when speaking in a foreign language. Additionally, speaking in a foreign language activates the brain's inhibition center, leading to a decreased emotional response and heightened rational decision-making. Therefore, people tend to make more logical decisions when communicating in a language other than their native tongue. Number 8. Daydreamers are more intelligent and creative. Do you find yourself daydreaming often in class or during work meetings? While some may view this as a negative thing, it's actually been found to be linked to intelligence and creativity. Research suggests that those who have high levels of mind wandering also tend to have high measured intelligence and creativity. Frequent daydreamers not only have higher IQ test scores, but their brains also seem more efficient. This means that they have an easier time with thinking, which can increase their minds to wander during simple tasks. They are able to switch focus without losing important information or steps. Number 9. We chalk up other people's bad behavior to their personalities, but ours on other factors. Have you ever felt angry when someone cut you off while driving, but then found yourself doing the same thing a few minutes later? Even though the other person's behavior irritated you and you may have called them names, you probably came up with excuses for your own behavior, such as being in a rush or only doing it once. The fundamental attribution error refers to our tendency to attribute bad behavior to a person's character rather than considering any situational factors that may have contributed to their actions. Number 10. The dopamine reward cycle can give you an information addiction. Do you sometimes spend hours scrolling through social media? The reason for that is the dopamine reward cycle. Dopamine motivates us to search for pleasurable experiences like food, sex, and drugs, but it can also trigger your curiosity and drive you to search for more information. This means that when you browse through your feed, your dopamine levels rise and motivate you to continue scrolling for further information. However, the concerning aspect is that you may never feel completely satisfied with the information provided. Most likely, you will continue scrolling until an external factor interrupts you. Number 11. Think from an outsider's perspective to solve your own issues. Research shows that most people experience Solomon's paradox, where they tend to think about the other person's problems more clearly and sensibly than their own. This phenomenon is observed across all age groups. However, a self-distancing strategy can help eliminate this bias. So when you face a personal dilemma, try taking a step back and considering your own situation from an outsider's perspective to practice your reasoning skills. Number 12. Volunteering can lengthen your lifespan. It is beneficial for both the world and yourself to volunteer your time, money, or energy to help others. Giving back to the community has been proven to increase happiness, boost health, and improve overall well-being. Consistent volunteering can even help manage stress, prevent illness, and provide a greater sense of fulfillment. This may be because volunteering decreases loneliness and enhances our social connections. Psychologists have discovered that people who volunteer regularly tend to live longer than those who don't. However, it's important to note that most of these findings were based on small group studies. Nonetheless, these findings are interesting and will probably lead to more research on the subject. Number 13. We think we're less impressionable than everyone else. The third-person effect states that we are more aware of how advertising affects others than how it affects ourselves. We can observe how an ad influences our peers, but we may be in denial about its impact on our own behavior. This is especially true when the ad is for something we are not interested in. It's important to acknowledge that the mass media messages we encounter on a regular basis can subconsciously affect our mood, desires, and attitude. Number 14. The way we dress changes how we think about ourselves. Our choice of clothing has a direct impact on our mood and happiness levels. Being well-dressed can have a positive effect on our overall well-being, as it can help boost self-confidence and make us feel more positive about ourselves. Studies have also suggested that wearing certain colors or patterns can influence our psychological state. For example, wearing brighter colors has been linked to increased energy levels and enthusiasm. Furthermore, the way we dress can affect how others perceive us, which in turn affects our confidence levels and brings us further mental benefits. For example, if we dress in a neat, professional manner, people may take us more seriously, and this may encourage them to treat us better. Ultimately, the way we dress plays an important role in setting our emotional tone for the day ahead, so it is essential that we take the time to choose clothes that make us feel good about ourselves. Here are 2 more videos you may find interesting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos like this, subscribe to the channel.